Do you use a password manager? If you don't, let's talk about maybe why you should. Hey guys, Andy here talking tech, and today we're talking cybersecurity and why you should make your online life a little more secure. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Please consider subscribing, and thanks for all my returning viewers. Appreciate your support. So first of all, what is a password manager? One, it's an application that's going to make your online life a little more secure. And no, I'm not talking about Excel or that fancy little notebook you keep next to your computer that you write down all your passwords in. A password manager is an application that allows you to store all of your passwords for all of your online accounts in one easy place. All you need is to remember a single password to access that database, and then you have access to all of your online accounts, your login information, your passwords, maybe even important account numbers that you need to keep track of. For me, it's important to have an application like this that is available across all of my different devices. My Mac, my iPhone, my iPad, and even my PC. Also, it would be useful if something like this had the ability to autofill forms for me so that I don't need to type in my passwords or copy and paste them. But really, why is any of this useful? Well, let's back up a little bit first. To really make all of your online accounts secure, we should all be following some standard password best practices. Number one, don't use the same password for every account. This can make remembering your passwords very simple, but does expose you to great risk of being locked out of your own accounts. Just imagine if a hacker gained access to maybe your bank account, now he has your money, but because you use the same password across all devices, he can now access your email and reset your bank account password and completely lock you out. Number two, try to avoid using common words and names. Common words and names also make remembering your passwords a little easier, but they also make guessing those passwords a little easier. And I know, the hackers that are trying to break into our accounts, they're not actually trying to guess our names. They're first going to skim over all of the known names and words in the English language before they start getting into more complex things. So avoid using those to begin with is a good place to start. And then lastly, you want to use long, complex passwords with a combination of characters such as uppercase, lowercase, numbers, and even symbols. And the longer you can make your password increases the complexity and makes it that much harder to get hacked into. Me personally, I change my passwords on an annual basis. I have my password manager actually helps remind me to do this. And when I do update my passwords, every time I do an update, I increase the length of the string. So if my password was 20 characters and it's due to be updated, I now make it 25 characters, unless otherwise restricted by the platform. Some websites restrict you to maximum character length of 20 characters or whatever. So I max those out, or I'm currently up to 25, and as my passwords need updating, I'm gonna make them even longer. However long they allow me, that's how long I'm gonna make it. Because with password managers, I don't need to remember them. I also use a combination of upper lowercase symbols and numbers, as I mentioned, to further increase the complexity. Okay, so why does all of this matter? In our current state of remote work and always on connectivity, we are in the ever accelerating digital age, guys. And not only are we always online, the hackers that are trying to break into our life are aware of that, and they're always online too. So we need to stay one step ahead and further secure our accounts to keep them out. Don't become a statistic. So what do I recommend you do? Easy, get a password manager. What I use a password manager called 1Password. And as the name implies, it only requires me to remember a single password to gain access to its vault. Yeah, in this case, they refer to the databases that house my passwords as vaults. I have to remember that 1Password to gain access to the vault, and then I have all my passwords for all my accounts, the login names, the websites, the passwords. I even have some important account numbers in there that I don't want to forget about. 1Password I found is nice because it does sync up across all of my platforms, so my Mac, my PC, my iPhone, my iPad. It also allows me to share important login information with people that I want to. So for example, my wife and I have various shared accounts. So for us to keep track of the login information for those, we can set up so that we both have access to a certain vault that houses only our shared accounts. So for you, maybe as an example, this might be Netflix. So maybe you have Netflix in your house and you want to share that login information with the people in your house that you want to have access to it. So in case maybe you get a new TV or maybe a device logged out, whatever the case, they can log into their vault securely, have access to your shared login information, and off they go. And then anytime you change the password, you update it in your vault, and now it's synced up across your devices. Everybody's happy. Okay, so 1Password. This is my password manager of choice. There are others. 1Password is not free. It used to be. They used to offer it for free, and that's how I kind of got hooked on it, and it just works for me. It's about $5 a month, but it does offer me some of the features I described, the sharing of vaults and the syncing across all my platforms, so my passwords are always with me. So even if I'm not home, they're synced up on my phone or even on my Apple Watch if I need them. There are free options out there though. So if you just want to try a password manager or you want to look into others and you're not willing to make any investment, that's fine. There's plenty of options. A couple notable ones I'll mention: LastPass and Dashlane. These are two completing password managers along with 1Password, which offer free tiers, but also some paid tiers, which expand some of the feature offerings. So check those out. I have tried LastPass. I have not tried Dashlane. They share some features with 1Password. For example, they all have browser plugins. So if you're in a web browser, you can have the password manager as a plugin, so you don't need to open a separate application to fill in your login forms. So that's a nice feature. The last one I want to mention is Google Chrome. Yes, the web browser. So one thing to remember here, guys, is how big Google is. So Google is humongous, right? Google, YouTube, they own a lot of stuff and everything is online. So it is in their best interest to make sure they're offering some platform that is secure to house some of your data. Now, all of these password managers, including Chrome, do publish what kind of security they use to keep your information secure. And I'm not a cybersecurity expert, but I know from just reading, they're all in the same boat using the same type of encryption and the same type of security to make sure that hackers have a hard time breaking into those to gain access. So I'm only referencing the password managers that I am familiar with and the ones that I trust. So there may be others out there, and if you know of one, please drop me a comment down below. Let me know. Maybe there's some new ones out there. Maybe there's ones that better suit you. Maybe you're using 1Password also and you've had good or bad experiences. Please, I'd love to start a conversation around that. Please drop a comment. And if you found some of this information useful, please let me know by hitting that like button. And as usual, if you like the content and you want to see some more videos, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you again soon in a future video.